Max Lord is marketing the Ultimatum, which is trouble as far as Batman is concerned, and rightly so. He's the reason they haven't joined the Justice League. The money is rolling in, and with the exception of Long Shadow, that's more important to the team. Except there's a mysterious phone call over a power wind dragon used against the Lava Men. It has some ominous tones to it. Sounds like someone else may have to save the day this time.
Sorrow's here to save the day.
No, I'm not seeing it, Bizarro. Wonder Woman is reaching out to Long Shadow, though, so the two are on patrol together, easily taking out Giganta and Bizarro, and still leaving time to discuss origin stories and the like. But just as he seems ready to leave the Ultimen for the League, he's called back to join the others in some medical tests.
What's the hurry, sis? Gotta get home and wax your mustache?
Ouch, form of a kick below the belt. But while they banter, we see Professor Hamilton, who had worked on Galatea and Fearful Symmetry, discussing their inevitable gruesome ends, interrupted by the introduction of Waller, whom you might recall from Epilogue. Things are tying together now. But Long Shadow also has some impressive hearing and gets one thing clearly. They're expendable, which is the worst thing you can hear when you go to the doctor's office, and probably the worst thing this team has heard since, "We don't need that El Dorado fellow, that's a terrible name anyway." So when Professor Hamilton wants to keep them overnight for observation, Long Shadow quickly agrees on behalf of the group. Although the observation doesn't go so well because the Ultimen quickly break into the restricted area where they find two things. What happened to Wonder Dog when he got kicked off the show, and duplicates of them floating in tanks. I really do have a mustache. No! They amscray, then grab Lord when he's sent to go looking for him, so at least that makes his job easier. They coerce him into telling them the truth. The Cadmus Project wanted a team of heroes loyal to the government, so they created artificial life forms with implanted memories. Needless to say, they're kind of pissed off, especially since they're dying and just going to be replaced with these clones. I know that used to hurt morale at my job. So they head back and bust some shit, except they don't seem to much care that Cadmus doesn't exclusively use this building. There are many offices here, not all of them belong to them, and many of them work in fields outside of the evil marketplace. Those people can get hurt or killed during this rampage, but they've forgotten their heroes, except for Long Shadow. He's the only one who doesn't join in the mayhem. He tries to protect them before his teammates get them all killed. Of course, a manic rampage just can't fill the gaping void in your soul. We've all learned that lesson the hard way. And soon Shifter is questioning why they're even bothering with all this. And for a moment, Wonder Woman's gesture seems to get through. But then Wind Dragon comes up with a better idea. You never really die as long as people remember you. So the best way to do that is to go on a murder spree, because then no one will ever forget. I believe I read that on a Hellmark card once. Aquaman rather impressively takes out Shifter during the fight. She's in a dinosaur form, no less, but that really upsets Downpour.
Nobody does that to my sister. Do you hear me? Nobody!
Well, you could have helped. The only thing you were trying to do was drown the only person here who can't drown. For Christ's sakes, he's called Aquaman, and you're fighting him with Aqua. Not to worry, everyone. I've brought my machine gun here. I'm sure with this I can defeat Dr. Immune to Machine Guns. I don't foresee any problems with this plan. While he finishes off Downpour with his Aqua Pimp hand, and Batman takes Juice out by knocking him into some water pipes, Wind Dragon is stopped by Long Shadow, but just by talking to him and reminding him that he wanted to be a hero like Superman, the guy he's trying to kill. And he's doing a pretty good job of it, but Supes is probably holding back. Punching a terminally ill teenager is kind of hard on the old Boy Scout rep. The Ultimen, except Long Shadow, are locked up, but Cadmus shows up to take them away. It's with assurance, though, that their last days are going to be comfortable. They're going to go with them voluntarily. But Long Shadow isn't under arrest and doesn't want to go, so Waller plans to take him by force. I'll leave it to you to calculate just how bad an idea that is under these circumstances. She lets him go in the end. He's going to die soon anyway, and there's nothing else he can give up that he probably hasn't already. Besides, she has an inside man of her own.
If I were you, I wouldn't probe the situation too closely, rich boy.
Savor that, Waller. Few see Batman make that face. If you handed him that box with Gwyneth Paltrow's head in it, he probably wouldn't have made that face. Ultimatum does a great job of being a parody without in any way allowing the parody to interfere with the straight dramatic story. It is more parody than homage, I have to say, because it still tries to capture many of the Super Friends elements. The cheesy speeches, the camp monsters, even the updated characters have enough of a wink at that multiculturalism gone wrong of the originals in various aspects of their characters. Now, nowhere near being offensive, but enough to let us in on the gag. Of course, the real importance of the episode is giving us full frontal Cadmus. The secret is out, and we're beginning to see the major players emerging. Waller's tough-as-nails attitude and lack of fear in the face of 4 big-name JL members shows that she is both ruthless and firmly committed to her cause. I get the feeling she relented only because Long Shadow wasn't worth the fight it would take to bring him in. Otherwise, I think she would have fought them right there in the streets. The questions raised: why would good people like Professor Hamilton work for someone so callous about human life? What exactly is the reason the government wants their own superheroes, while at the same time discrediting those who have protected it before? And what is Cadmus's endgame? To help get an answer to these questions, I'll be looking at the 2-part Justice League story, A Better World, next month.
All hail the Overlord! All hail the Overlord!
Lights out, old chum.